Hey, Aaron Adams with Infinity Investing. I wanted to take a couple minutes today and break down and answer a very common question that people just don't understand, and it blows their minds. I will say to an investor that you can own a rental property in your 401k, in your IRA, and that's something they're not familiar with. Because sometimes they'll say to me, well, yeah, no, I have a REIT, and I've invested in a REIT in the stock market. And yes, that's absolutely a strategy that you can do. But your 401k can actually go on title of an apartment building or of a house that you have as a rental. And this is a strategy that's always been allowed. What a lot of people don't understand is that Fidelity manages a third of Americans' retirement money. They're the trustee. And as the trustee, Fidelity has said, we won't be the trustee for real estate. There's only really a couple of things that you can't invest in with your 401k, with your IRA. You can't invest in collectibles. So no baseball cards, no fine wine, no art. That's not allowed. That's illegal. You also cannot invest in insurance products. So you can't use your 401k to buy a universal life insurance policy or a whole life insurance policy. But real estate is not prohibited in any way, shape, or form as something that your 401k and your IRA can invest in. But you have to have a trustee who's willing to supervise and make sure that you don't make any prohibitive transactions. That's the devil in the detail. So if you go to your Fidelity guy, for example, and say, hey, I want to buy an apartment complex with my 401k, they'll say you're not allowed to do that. Well, what they really mean is you're not allowed to do that at Fidelity because they're unwilling to be the trustee for that type of product. And so what you want to find is a self-directed trustee. I work with a group like IRA Club out of Chicago, iraclub.org. They're a group that I've used in the past and that we use at Infinity with our clients who want to self-direct that money. And once you've self-directed and set it up with a trustee who's willing to provide oversight, it's actually very easy. All that happens is you designate the property that you want as a rental, and from that point, your 401k or your IRA goes on the title. When the rents come in, they go to the trustee's account. And they sit there. When you need to pay the taxes, it gets paid out of the trustee's account. If you have maintenance or repairs, it gets paid. The really sexy part about owning property in an IRA or 401k is that you don't pay any taxes. So when the rent comes in, there's no capital gain. There's no need for depreciation. If you were to sell an apartment building, you don't have to do a 1031 exchange. That's a tax-free transaction because all growth in 401ks and IRAs, it's either tax deferred or tax free. So if you have a Roth IRA, then you are completely tax free forever, even when you then take the distributions out. It's a powerful strategy that very few investors know. Many of you have too much money in the stock market as a percentage, and if we have another crash, you're exposed. In 2008, we saw investors lose 30, 40, 50% of their retirement accounts because they were 80, 90, 100% invested in the stock market. And so it's a strategy that we teach regularly to our investors at Infinity. If this is something you're interested in getting more information about, we have a monthly event that we do, a workshop. Go to infinityinvesting.com. Click to sign up. It's absolutely free. And make sure that you enter your questions, any follow-up questions that you have about this. We look forward to having you at one of those virtual events and hopefully down the road at one of our live events.